So, what am I supposed to do after I get into a car accident in Orlando? Or anywhere in Florida, or anywhere else for that matter? I'm Charles Bust, and I'm a personal injury attorney in Orlando, Florida. And I want to talk to you about the 5 things you need to know about car accidents. So, let's get right into it. If you're not injured, you can probably skip this one. However, if you've been injured, or even if you think you've been injured, you need to seek medical treatment. Right after an accident, your adrenaline is sky high, and getting into an accident freaks all of us out. So that adrenaline may mask your pain for a day or more, and it's critical to get medical treatment as early as possible so that your injuries don't get any worse than they have to. Also, it helps your case if you get medical treatment sooner rather than later, because as you can imagine, the opposing side may try to link your injuries to something else if you wait too long to get treatment. In other words, the longer you wait to get treatment, the easier it is for the other side to point to something else and say that caused your injuries. When a careless driver injures you, you're probably going to be saddled with a lot more burdens than just medical bills. Luckily, you have the right to be compensated for some of these things. As we talked about, you can be compensated for your past and future medical bills, but you can also be compensated for your lost past and future wages, your loss of enjoyment of life, and your pain and suffering. Each accident is different, and so each case will warrant different types of compensation. The point here is that you may be able to get compensation for some types of loss that you may not have even thought of yet. Some people are going to avoid pursuing an injury claim because they don't want to deal with litigation or trial. That's understandable. Litigation can be a pain. Trust me, I know. However, many claims settle before a lawsuit is even filed, pre-suit. Whether the case will settle pre-suit is usually going to depend on a number of factors, like the other party's culpability, the amount of damage you suffered, whether you finished your medical treatment, and other facts about the case. The point is, just because you bring an injury claim doesn't mean you're going to end up in court or in litigation. Florida is a no-fault car insurance state. Accordingly, Florida drivers are required to carry $10,000 of personal injury protection, or PIP coverage, as well as $10,000 in property damage liability benefits. PIP is a type of coverage that every driver carries on his or her own auto insurance policy, or at least every driver is supposed to carry it. And it pays for medical bills, regardless of whether that driver or someone else was at fault for the accident. PIP coverage, however, is capped at the policy limits, which is typically only $10,000. Also, PIP only covers your medical bills, not your pain and suffering. The goal of the insurance company is simple. Take money in and don't pay money out. If you haven't learned already, insurance companies are great neighbors and they got you in their hands and all that good stuff until you need them to pay a claim. Then they're not so great and things get adversarial. So, keep this in mind when an insurance company asks you for a recorded statement or asks you to sign something. They want you to say something that will reduce the value of your claim, plain and simple. Also, keep in mind that when an insurance company makes you an offer before you have an attorney, it's probably pennies compared to what your case is actually worth. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, please let us know. Smash like and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions for me, you can reach out to us at carelessdriver.com and set up your free consultation. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.